All right, so yeah, just for those of you that will be watching it on the video, today I'm just going to go through forms real quick. Not too much explanation on like forms and stuff. Then I'm going to create a component to add a fuel station, connect to Firestore and Firebase. Then we're going to see real-time database and how it works and stuff like that. Okay, so right, let me share my screen and we begin. So this is where we are. Okay, I've already cloned the repository of GitHub. I've had a look, not much was done. It's just one component that was added, I believe. This fuel finder user registration, that's a long name. But anyways, let's go. ng serve. So that we have the, okay, yeah. I have another one here. Let me cancel this one. Serve. Okay, ready. Go to localhost 4200. So it's just the basic stuff that comes with Angular. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create a fuel station list component. So ng generate component fuel station list. Okay. Okay, it's done. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is this app.component, delete everything that's there, and add app fuel station list. Did I get a fuel station list component? Once it's done there, perfect, it works. Maybe just to add a little styling, going to add bootstrap. Index.html. Just add that so that we can. Okay, bootstrap is there. Next thing, add fuel station component. Okay, we're going to add fuel station component. So ng generate component add fuel station. So this is where we're going to cover the form. And likewise, okay, let's do a little bootstrap here. Let's see, div row, we have div goal, maybe, yeah, I think that'll do. So we'll put the fuel list in the bigger one. Then the form add fuel station component, add fuel station add fuel station. Add fuel station. Just make sure everything is run. Okay, good. You just come over here to check. All right, so it's split using the bootstrap grid. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we need to import reactive forms module, which is here in the app. So we need to import reactive forms module from Angular forms. Then we also need to throw it in here, reactive forms module. Right. Then we need to go to component and we need to import form control from Angular forms. Good. No, sorry, not this one. We imported where we want to create our form, which is add fuel station. Go to the component and we import it here. Right, then once we're here, I think we're almost done with the form. Not too much needs to be done at this point. I don't know. Let's see. So you can have name is equal to new form control and an empty string. Okay, then we have location. It's new form control. Okay, perfect. Let's just check to see everything's working fine. No errors in the console. Perfect. Next step is to go to the component itself, this HTML, and I don't know, just call it add. Let's give it maybe a title, H2. Add fuel station. Maybe an HR. Okay, let's see. Okay, can have an input type text name. Let's give it a name of anything. Name is fine. Then we need to transform control here, which is equal to in the form control we called it name. So this name that appears here is the same name that appears here. So this name here is the same name there. So here we can change this location and location. And I think we're done with our forms. Okay. Placeholder. And then here, name. Here, location. L. Maybe we can add classes here also. Just to form control. These are bootstrap classes, so that we have some styling. Okay, there you go. Probably at the end we need a button. Button add station. Then class is called btn outline primary secondary, I guess. Then click. I want to handle click. I think so. Then we can have our handle click method in here. Click console.log and clicked, I guess. I hope it's all in order. Okay, perfect. So now, just to show how everything is tied together, what I'm going to do is console.log maybe name. I think, let's see what it does when we do that. Okay, ADIN. What did I miss? What did I miss? This. I missed this because it's in the class. To get it, we need to get, we need to throw in this so that we have the context that we're looking for. Okay, so we get form control and we can get the value. This dot value. So with the value, we can do whatever we want with it. Okay, DIN. What? Did I type it wrong? But essentially, yeah, that just shows how they're all connected. So that's how we'll be getting the data, the values, then sending them to Firebase eventually, whenever we do. Yeah, it should be that value. But anyways, let's move on to connecting to Firestore now. So I'd already gone ahead and created a Firebase application. But let's see. What you'd need to do is to go to, all right, I see a raised hand. Let's see. All right. Yeah.
That was some time back. I was going to say, I think it's this value. Not so sure, but I just looking at the object in the console.
Yeah. So you're saying this dot value?
I think so.
But this dot value would be referencing to a variable in the class. So it will be undefined if we say this dot value like so, because there's no value.
Okay.
So this dot name dot value,
Okay.
that is the object, this dot name has a variable value, as a whatever, a property of value. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. In the experiments I tried to play around with earlier on, it was I got it to work by using event target value. I'm not sure if that's the best practice use?
You used event dot, like you used the event itself, then got the target and the value.
I used I used the event in the in the template. I put event, the $sign event
Was
dot
this
target dot
like
value, and then this side in the TypeScript I just gave it anything, but it passes the value.
Oh, okay. So with that, let's see. Yeah, it makes sense. So, what is it? Is it key up? I think key up. It would work perfectly here, where you handle change, for example. Then we pass the event like you're saying, like so. Then at fuel station, then would handle.
Bro, okay. Let me not derail you off the. Let's stick to the. Sorry, let's stick to your presentation as it is.
All right, no, it's fine. I mean, it's a learning experience. So like that, where you have the event, then all right. I mean, it's just a quick one. So we can just also do stuff like this. Maybe if you want, just for fun.
Are you still sharing your screen?
Oh, you can't see my screen. All right, yeah. All right, let me share it. Share it. There you go. Screen. So what I did is I just added, okay, so like you're saying, I added this key up event, like you're saying, dollar event. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, let's see. Then here I added this method handle change. Right.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's and then we can use that on line 21 e dot target dot value.
Yes, dot target dot value, like so. Then what it would mean?
Yeah.
Okay, why is it complaining that much? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Template pass errors, but the blank expressions are not allowed. Okay, yeah, no, it's my bad. So I am not done. I wasn't quite finished. So we can then do this. Data is equal to maybe name given an empty string. Then maybe data name. Just to, so then on handle change, what we can do is this dot data dot name becomes equal to dot target dot value. So what that will then do is when you come here and type something, it appears right at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how these forms and form control work. So you can even do your validation and stuff like that, and even do cool stuff like maybe to upper case. Is it capitals? Case should be like so. And name, yeah, you can do stuff like that. So the next thing, now let's work.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty powerful. All right, now let's go to.
Sorry, sorry. Just before, sorry, I really just have to ask last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about what about somewhere during our presentation, during the plurals axis, there was something they featured on two-way binding using NG model.
NG model. So when I was reading about forms, that way is manually doing it. That would be manually doing it. This two-way binding. I don't know too much details about that, but that essentially two types of forms in Angular. There's a template form where you'd have to do two-way binding on your own, and then there's reactive forms that use form control. So they're reactive forms. I think this introduction is what is reactive forms and template driven. So these template ones are the ones that you would have to throw in your own functions, all that stuff on your own. I think you have an example down.
Okay.
Like so, right? Yeah. So this is manual. So this is template driven forms, but we are using reactive forms where you use form control, which automatically delete it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. Here. So now with form, first thing that we need to do is we need to, do I have another? Good. We need to in npm install, need to install Firebase and Angular Fire. Save. And let it install. Yeah, npm takes a while to install. But yeah. While it loads, yeah, Firebase really takes away the need to build your own back end, because now all you need to do is just to set your application up on Firebase and you're good to go. Okay, great, it's done. After we've installed Firebase, you need to get like a Firebase configuration. So I had already set up an application on Firebase. Let's see where my Firebase is. But we'll create another application here. So when you go to console.firebase.google.com, it takes you to this page that lists all your Firebase projects. So I'm almost running out of projects, but when you click through and select, and when you click through and set up your application as it's expected, you come here to this page. So now let's add a new application. It's web, obviously. The application name is let's say Fuel Finder, and register application. When you register application, it gives you some code. So what we need is this year without the semicolon. Then we go to our environments, environment.ts, then Firebase. Then we throw in our configuration. And yeah, that's it. Now we just need to do our imports of Firebase related stuff. Let me just move back to this one to make sure it's compiling out. Great. Let's see. App module. So we want to import Angular Fire module from Angular Fire. Then also in the imports, we go to throw in our Angular Fire module there, but need to initialize it. Initialize app. Oh, we forgot to import the environments. Import and spellings from environments and environment. So what we initialize is environment dot Firebase, which is what we just added now in the environments. So this Firebase configuration here, dot Firebase. Where were we? There you go. Okay. Let's see if everything is working as expected to this point. Nah, everything is great. Okay. Next thing is we need to now go to our component. So the component that we're using is the list, fuel station list. Need to, let's see. But before we go there, some additional imports that we need to have. Import Angular Firestore module. This Angular Firestore module from Angular Firestore. Excuse me. Import Angular. You know, they should do something about having to write Angular so many times. Angular Fire Storage module. This is from Angular Fire Storage. Yeah, I think that's all we need here. And we need to throw them in here. Angular Firestore module. And Angular Fire Storage module. Let me just copy and paste. Okay, then what And here now, I don't know, any questions? This is just importing, so
Yeah, I wanted to ask, may I see the Firestore configuration again?
the Firestore configuration. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the line 8. Is that going to be a security hazard if we push that on our GitHub? Like someone can literally get a copy of that and use that key for whatever malicious thing in our database. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you've got a point here. It will be, it actually will be a security. So I'm even going to, after this video, like, I'm even going to get rid of it, just maybe 1 or 2 days, so that people can play around with it. Then I'll get rid of the key, because it is a security hazard. It even warns you, as we'll see just now when we create a database, that anyone with access to this. But like, you can even go further and give certain permissions, like authorizations, I guess, for this stuff here. All right, so now we go to the final bit. Not the final bit, but let's continue from here. We want to import Angular Firestore, like so. From Angular Firestore. Then import what is that notification? Anyways, let me just continue. So okay, import. Let's see. Let's try and be quick here. I think we can finish this. Angular Firestore from observable. Observable. Want to import from no, it's RxJS. Good. So this is what makes it do that funky stuff that I was showing you earlier on, where you put it in the database and immediately it changes. I think I skipped a step. So in the constructor, we need to Angular Firestore. Right, then next thing is complaining engines. Why did it stop? I don't know. Anyways, just want to make sure that everything is in order. Okay. So now the constructor, this items is equal to db that we passed in there, collection. Then the name of the collection, we'll call it, this is now the name of the collection that we create in Firebase. So stations. This is the name of the database itself. Dot value changes. Okay, so I provide items is equal to observable, and it's any array items. Okay, so I think that does it for here. Then now fuel station list component. Maybe what we can do is have the, okay, before we style it, let me just say ng4 is equal to let item of items, and throw in a pipe synchronous async. Then item dot name. Okay, so come here, it should be complaining, but it's not. Okay, but I suppose it's not because we already have database. Okay, so I call them items here. Let me create stations. Name. So name is Gweru. No, Zua. Add field location. Let's say Gweru. Then has fuel. It's a Boolean, and it's true. Save. And hopefully, there you go. Bingo. So now what you can do, just so that you see how cool this is, let's put that there. What happens is that if you click add document again, let's say name is equal to shell, then location equal to Ohio, then as fuel, Boolean true. So once you click save, it's instant. Some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it on connecting with Firestore. I think our time is almost up. As the week progresses, I will add like the functionality to essentially then add from this form, then it appears on the right. It's actually quite a bit to do in an hour, and I think we've actually covered quite a lot. So yeah, that's fair game. Anyways, that is it from me. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to ask any questions in the group. Peace.